You've probably heard it a million times. Dopamine is the brain's pleasure chemical, right? Well, what if I told you that's not really the whole story? What if the key to understanding your motivation, your habits, and maybe even your addictions is buried in a huge misunderstanding of what dopamine actually does? Let's get into it.
So let's just dive right into the heart of this thing. For decades, we've all been taught that dopamine is about feeling good. The reward you get at the end of the race. But it turns out the science is pointing to something else entirely. And this quote from neurobiologist Robert Sapolsky just flips the whole idea on its head. The key isn't getting the reward, it's the anticipation of it. That one little word, anticipation, is the secret to understanding what really drives us to do, well, everything. This is where we all think the magic happens. We link that dopamine rush with the reward itself. The taste of the cake, finally winning the game, getting that notification on your phone. We think it's all about that moment of pleasure, that feeling of, yes, I got it. But here's the twist. The science shows the real action is happening before that. Dopamine isn't the celebration at the finish line. It's the fuel that gets you through the race. It's the chemical that screams, go, get it, it's worth it. It's all about the thrill of the chase, not the capture.
Okay, so that raises a pretty big question, right? If it's just about motivation and the chase, why is it so ridiculously powerful? What makes the system so easy to hijack, turning a healthy drive into a compulsive, addictive need?
Well, the answer is kind of surprising. It's not about getting a reward every time you do something. In fact, it's the opposite. The real hook, the thing that makes our brains light up like a pinball machine, is the powerful, tantalizing uncertainty of maybe. Now, there's a fancy scientific term for this, intermittent reinforcement. It was first studied by B.F. Skinner, and the principle is simple. Unpredictable, sporadic rewards are way more motivating than consistent, guaranteed ones. That uncertainty is exactly what our brain latches onto. The absolute easiest way to think about this? Just call it the slot machine effect. It perfectly explains why a slot machine can be so addictive, while a vending machine, not so much. Just think about the difference. With a vending machine, you put your money in, you get a snack. It's guaranteed. It's satisfying, sure, but it's totally predictable. A slot machine, on the other hand, runs on the possibility of a win. That little word, maybe, creates this powerful craving that a sure thing just can't compete with.
And this right here is the crucial takeaway. Your brain actually releases more dopamine in anticipation of a potential reward than it does from getting a guaranteed one. The hope, the possibility, is literally more potent than the prize itself.
But this isn't just about casinos. This powerful reward system is woven through our daily lives, often in places we don't even recognize it.
For example, in an unhealthy relationship, those rare, unpredictable moments of kindness or affection can create this powerful, clinging hope. That feeling of maybe things will get better this time keeps a person invested, always waiting for that next unpredictable hit of warmth.
Or think about a job that's just draining you. You feel totally invisible. And then one day, out of the blue, your boss gives you some random, unexpected praise. That tiny hit of validation can be just enough to keep you pushing forward, chasing that next moment of recognition. And of course, here's the most pervasive example in all of our lives today. Every single time you pull down to refresh your social media feed, you're pulling the lever on a digital slot machine. You have no idea what reward, if any, you're going to get.
And it is absolutely crucial to understand this isn't an accident. This system, that variable ratio reinforcement we talked about, is the engine of the entire attention economy. Every like, every comment, every notification is a tiny, unpredictable reward, intentionally designed to keep you hooked and keep you scrolling.
Okay, so that might sound a little bleak, but here's the really good news. Just understanding this system is the first step to beating it. Once you can see the slot machine in your life, you can learn to unplug it and even use this same science to take back control.
So let's build a practical toolkit for managing your dopamine system. We're going to cover 3 simple but really powerful practices you can start using right away.
First up is what's called a dopamine fast. Dr. Anna Lemke over at Stanford has found that taking a full 30-day break from one specific addictive behavior, like social media, can do wonders to rebalance and reset your brain's reward pathways and seriously dial down your cravings.
Second, you can actually hack this system for yourself. If you're working on a big goal, Don't give yourself the exact same reward every time you hit a milestone. Instead, mix it up. Introduce some novelty and unpredictability to your own rewards to supercharge your motivation.
And finally, a tip that sounds really counterintuitive, but it works. When you're working on a long-term project, try occasionally skipping the celebration when you hit a small milestone. Why? Because by denying yourself that expected reward, you're re-engaging that maybe effect. You're teaching your brain that the real prize is at the end, which enhances your drive to actually finish.
So you see, understanding dopamine isn't just about cool brain chemistry. It's about self-awareness. It's a new lens to see why you do the things you do. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What slot machine in your life has its hooks in you? And is it maybe time to unplug it?